Hey yo guys, it's Ruby. Welcome back to another video. In this Behind the Mind, we will be continuing taking a deeper dive into the Planky series, because in this video, we're talking about War of Hearts. To understand War of Hearts, you need to understand how I ended up making it a lot sooner than I originally planned. The Plank to Save Them All came out April of 2023. As I mentioned in the last Behind the Mind, my history teacher was a huge part in making that happen. So before school ended, I showed him the video and he was so for the sequel. So instead of releasing it in spring of 2024 like I originally planned, I scheduled it for September of 2023 so I could come down to his classroom and ask him how much he enjoyed it. So that summer I started writing a lot because the only ideas I had was I want Planky to go on an odyssey, and that odyssey will be in search of his wife. Okay, I might get some hate for this, but at the time this wasn't as frowned upon. Around the time I was writing this was the same time Snapchat dropped their new AI bot. So I asked him for a bit of help with the basic storyline. It gave me the idea of having this quest to find Mrs. Planky actually be a race between Planky and another force. It suggested aliens, but I just went with the FBI. It also gave me a cool title for a video about love and violence. So yes, AI did help me come up with the plot and title, but don't get it twisted because AI could never write something as good as this video was. So let's take a deeper dive into it. I suck at knowing how to start character videos, but I thought back to almost every movie I've ever watched, and how they all start is with an inciting incident to kick things off. So that's why I jumped right into the action by showing Mrs. Planky actually escaping her cell. Note that Mrs. Planky has rips on her top and bruises on her chest and neck region because Agent Joseph was trying to SA her. I want to show that Mrs. Planky is not some damsel in distress. She is a smart woman who, with a few simple items, managed to break out a locked cell. Honey, can you come downstairs? I made the Nomad Beyond where Planky reunites with his wife prior to even making the Plank to Save Them All. So I knew as much as the goal of this video is to find Mrs. Planky, it can't end with that. But I still had to show eventually that they do find each other. But only after 40 years. Also, I knew I wanted half this video to be with replay and half actually acted out in person. Hitler made an album? I came across the stupid Treat You's Better song, so I made it canon. But it fit perfectly because I also wanted there to be a lot of comedy in this, since that's also a lot more natural to act out in real time.
His name is Miguel Angel Felix Gallardo,
who was a real cartel leader around that time. The cave-in scene is in Chile because there was a big cave-in there in 2010. Gemini first tries running out the cave, which is why he gets caved in, whereas Planky makes it to the hole. What the heck is this place? I want to include more Minecraft things in this since I made up that the Nomad is between Asia and South America. So of course, some of that mythical stuff would carry over here. Gemini dug out of the rocks with just his hands, which is why they're all bloody. Shut up! Planky gives Gemini a nickname to show them growing as friends. Yeah. I'm fine. Planky has no visible wounds from the Warden because he was only getting sonic boomed. So against his hard wooden skin, there was no visual damage. I see that.
Yeah, I'm fine. I got it.
Gemini uses the sugarcane in the background because sugarcane makes paper in Minecraft.
It's not important, really.
Gemini blows off his injury because in his eyes, he is on a job, so he doesn't want to cause them any more delay. Hello, little kitty. This is the first time Gemini sees Planky's soft side because up until this point, Gemini only knows him as the war hero that murdered a government official.
Got some pork.
Planky's favorite food is pork. Even in the Plank to Save Them All, we see him killing pigs.
Why aren't you afraid of the campfire?
This was just damage control, because for someone that claims to be afraid of fire, I put him around fire a lot. The song that plays in Rio is from the movie Rio. It's a bit on the nose, but the club is called the Club of Love, because, you know. Pandas have a really good sense of smell, so he could smell something was off, but she was camouflaged, so he didn't know. Planky looks at the oak sign on the oak planks and realizes that's how Mrs. Planky is hiding in plain sight. When Planky sees Mrs. Planky, there's a slow zoom in on her because Planky is totally encapsulated by her. Gemini is covered in blood because he destroyed those two FBI agents.
A shorter beard suits you.
Which is why to this day, he has a shorter beard. The song that plays during the roof scene is called Lightbringer because that's another name for the devil, which Planky is being accused of being. And in a way, he becomes that because he is so scary that the drunk man slips off the roof. Gemini cries for Planky when he hears the Vietnam news because he knows Planky lost everything for literally nothing. The 21st night of September. Planky is singing September to give us an established year we're finally in. Also note how throughout this entire video, Planky is skinny because not only is he not eating a lot, but he's also doing a lot of cardio. This is New Orleans. Anytime someone on the Nomad has gone into their subconscious, they always go to the place they feel is home. The last time Planky was in this bar was after killing Agent Joseph, which is why he still remembers the blood being there. Gemini has a gun wound in his arm to show he was off doing other fighting while Planky was getting the elytra. Actually, in a cutscene, they both went to this abandoned lab to get the elytra, then the FBI ambushed them, so that's where Gemini got that wound. But canonically, Planky was getting the elytra in the cave, while maybe Gemini was still searching in the abandoned lab, but all he found was the FBI. Also note the attention to detail because the blood is lighter on his white fur than his dark clothes.
Wait, so it's
Good,
like
right?
really easy to kill somebody now.
Planky believes guns should be used for protection, but if you have a gun that could wipe out people in a matter of seconds, are you really using it for protection?
Here, you can watch that. I don't really want it.
Planky is old-fashioned. He doesn't really want to fly.
Anything in there?
No!
After Planky's dream, he doesn't trust Gemini as much. This was improvised in the moment, but we thought it would be funny for them to close each other's doors because they've been bonding at this point for years. Planky cries at Madeline Bailey singing because the lyrics make him realize all that he's lost and that Mrs. Planky cannot be one of them. And yes, I did make a Madeline Bailey skin.
You know, if we look hard enough, we might find like a bowl of lemons.
I saw this stupid video that was like tips that real estate agents will do to try to make a house look more appealing, and one of them was put a bowl of lemons.
Hey!
Oh.
Hi!
Yes, I accidentally sounded like Angelo at first.
I've already repaid my debt to you.
At the end of the Plank to Save Them All, Gemini said he'd help Planky for 5 years, which by this point he has, so he's gone. Planky's breaths go from scared and panicky to slow and emotionless because he has become cold and ruthless. Planky fights the warden to let out all that pent-up anger, and he does win, albeit barely, but this is physically the strongest we ever see Planky because he just doesn't care anymore. Planky dying from the warden is him hitting rock bottom because he's alone, dying, and has no idea how to find his wife. And this is purposely drawn out to make the viewer feel how sad and sorry this situation is. Planky puts in a lot less money because he doesn't have that much. Planky looks up for a second after winning because he's like, yes, thank God I won because I have nothing else. Okay, so why does Gemini break into the White House even though he said he paid his debt? Truth is, Gemini didn't do this because he owed Planky. He did it because he wanted to do the right thing. So with or without Planky, he was going to find Mrs. Planky. The song that plays during Argentina is called Love Bomb because, you know, love and violence. We can physically see Planky weighing out his options because he looks out at the vast Arctic, but instead decides to help the man that helped him. Planky has small circle wounds because that's what matches the Guardian's lasers.
It hurts, doesn't it? Thinking you know how something's gonna end, just for it to lead to everyone you know and love dying.
AKA what the FBI did to Planky by sending him to Vietnam.
You may think you're doing the right thing, but you are just as bad as us.
The FBI leader wasn't wrong. He's what we call lawful evil. He's not evil himself. It just so happens that the law he follows goes directly against our protagonist.
Did you eat my ribs back in Mexico?
Yeah!
This video began with comedy. It had to end with it too. So there it is, the full breakdown of War of Hearts. This video was honestly just amazing. It was only 40 minutes, but it could have happily been 80. Even rewatching it for this video, I forgot how every single scene was just so peak, and everything from the character development to the fight scenes just all tied together so perfectly. And not to mention, it gave a perfect explanation as to why they were separated for so long. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Head out, peace.